checked, they are seated higher.
Good thing you checked.
Do your fucking homework.
Imagine.
Well, I said I do the technical stuff. That's the technical stuff. You're just here to look good and talk pretty.
Yep.
Pretty.
Be a gamer.
You don't mean talk good and look pretty?
And we're live. Hey guys.
Hello. And welcome to I forget the full name of Levels team, but it's amazingly long. And
Levels gang of bastard teammates.
Yep, that's it. And then we have the
#1 comrade collective.
Correct.
Classy.
All I know is I recognize a lot of people from the first team, and almost half of the people from Team 2, along with your little cicada god. But Team 2 has brought in like a full 10-man ready to be on level. I hope they're ready, because Level's just going in one by one invite. They forgot to group up. Slowly, one by one, they enter the arena. Alright, so for this week of Mining Collective, well, Mining Collective is the Light Drop, which is 270 tons. You're not going to see any lock-ons allowed, but this is most definitely going to be a brawl, because the tonnage constraints really just force you to use the more efficient damage per heat weapons that are most accurate, or the ones with the most burst. And with the 3 cap, it's most likely gonna be ignoring the Sigma and Gamma points, which are the only 2 caps, and they're just gonna rush over Theta, which is my well, this is just a good guess, to be honest, but we don't know if they'll just have a Team 2 actually both teams charging in from Charlie Land to rush directly at each other, or will we see a team try to build a flank, or try to hold the buildings, for example, maybe like sticking like 2 to 3 MPL max on top of the bottom right E4 building that you usually see a couple people trading. Could have a couple MPL boats standing up there, just trying to shoot down on Theta. Maybe get strikes prepared to lead the enemy into their own kill box? Hypothetically?
So far, it's looking like Team 1 is going Alpha Charlie split, which looks like South Side control. They might be going for Gamma and Theta initially. Maybe they just want to brawl straight over into high ground Echo 4, Fox 4, possibly? And I don't see Lance assignment set up for Team 2 yet, though.
Yep. Oh, Team 1 is locked. And they are locked to Alpha Charlie. But to be fair, they could do the thing that I was just talking about and try to hold that little high ground ridge and just try to form a kill box. But it'd be really difficult to actually lead the enemy into it unless they were like all grounded pseudo lights and not the usual ones in this, like the Vulcan or the Assassin. Could be the Assassin with MPLs or SRMs. Still works to get on top that little thing. So now we're just waiting on Team 2.
Yeah, I do wonder how the asymmetrical nature of this point cap is going to work. Is Team 2 going to go for Bravo Charlie and secure early Sigma, and maybe the fight's going to be over Theta?
Most likely the fight's just gonna happen over Theta, and one team might try to push hard into the other team. And whichever team has like a clear, definitive strategy, as in like, they're all gonna be boating the highest DPS that they can. Maybe they're trying to go with more SRMs with laser backups lacking sustain versus the pure MPL boats that we usually seen, like your normal Wolfhound and your Vulcan. They can't stand up to some of the more burst damage SRM boats that we have seen a couple players use very well.
I do wonder if mining's too vertical for that sort of strategy, though. But maybe it's not.
It can definitely work, especially at the lower. Oh wait. For a second there, I thought they were ready. Damn. Oh, Alpha Bravo. Looks
Alpha
like
Bravo. Wait, that's really split map
No,
then.
they're
Oh, nope, Alpha Charlie. That makes sense.
Alpha Charlie for Team 2.
That is curious though, because I don't know if Team 2 is going to be able to. I guess they're just going to send someone from Charlie to grab Sigma early, but that seems like a big waste of time.
Okay, both teams have agreed to go. So going in 5.
Although I guess with a drop this light, they're probably not that concerned about a possible cap win. It's probably not going to go to that. And whatever pressure you might get from having a 2 cap in this scenario probably just doesn't matter if your plan is kill the enemy team and win the game that way.
Correct, unless you have like a really good position to funnel your enemy into, which is kind of hard to do on the drop this light, because most of the enemy would have good max widget jump jets to easily get over the small little buildings versus like a brawl push with mediums and heavies.
Okay, I'm gonna go look at the red guys.
Okay, I will look at the blue. You could call first.
Coming in. Capture and hold the resource point. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
We got 2 assassins and Vulcans. 2 Vulcans, a K9 and a Victor. The Victor has 2 heavy Gauss rifles on it. Nice.
Oh, that's gonna be scary for our Team 1 to poke into.
Alright, and Team 1, we have 100% MPLs and 2 ears. Actually, no, 3 ear smalls total. on Team 1 side with 3 Phoenix Hawks, 1 Katana Cat, 2 Watermelons, 6 Ps.
So I think the biggest question here is what do they do about that Victor? Do they just try to play around it, or they try to side?
They don't know the Victor is there yet, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't see them scout it out. But with all those UAVs, they're probably gonna find it.
And the trading has already started. Fest is already
Yep,
down to 91% in his assassin.
Yeah, Team 1 has taken the top position. That kind of helps predict. Oh, now there's a strike that they don't see. Oh, and it hit Juice for a bit. Oh, and the Uziel just got bitten off. His poor watermelon guts. Let's see that damage, actually. His left torso,
Yeah, it was
all
from the
the
Victor.
armor's gone.
Heavy Gauss Victor fucked it up.
So they know he's here. Yeah.
Oh,
so
and
they're
they're
gonna dive
pushing.
him now. They're diving him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
This
play.
makes sense. This makes sense to do.
As a nice little cluster, they're all going after the Victor.
Trying to,
Orphan just has to tank for as long as he possibly can.
He's
And
lost his gun.
Got legged,
He's
I believe, there.
that's the good.
Yeah,
Now
that was
with
very
all
clean
6
legging,
in the
actually.
open as a tight little cluster, they're trying to focus fire pretty well. They're focusing the
definitely-
Vulcan, but now are immediately switched to the Assassin. Assassin's almost down. Oh, the Uziel self-destructed, and the other one should be going down here in a second. Oh, the Assassin finally goes down, the one that was legged in the middle of all of them. Oh, another self-destruction. Some people feeling really hot today.
Still
The
a really
Money
close
Collective.
match. Percentages are very heavily in favor of Team 2 right now. That Uziel on Team 1 is down to 28%. It's probably going down, but not before the Vulcan on Team 2. How'd that happen? Didn't even see it take damage.
Yep, there.
Oh, and now it's a 3v3. Oh no, the Irby's getting focused from behind, and he gets down from the focus fire. Now it's just the Assassin and the Vulcan left versus the Phoenix Hawk and the Panther. Oh no.
It's a 1v1?
Just a Panther versus an Assassin. Let's hope that.
Oh, the assassin is fresh.
So-
Yeah, but he could have ran
Panther
out of
wins
ammo.
this, I think. Yeah, I think the Panther wins
Especially
this.
on the drop this light, you don't expect to use that many tons of ammo.
If he knocks his
Depen-
leg off, he has a chance.
Mhm.
One more touch.
An arm off
Yep,
on that
there goes the
assassin.
leg.
It's unfortunate.
But that's the
Panda's
Katana
leg.
Cat.
The rest is fresh.
You
He
can
has
shield
to go
that.
for the leg.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
I think
Assassin's
he's
going
out
for
of
the cap
ammo.
win.
Maybe
He might just be running away to play caps now that he's legged.
I forget what's the key to go actually check inside the cockpit manually.
F.
Theta is
Fucking
there we
thing?
go.
No,
Oh,
he's got
Fett
plenty. He's
still
just going
has
for the cap
ammo.
win. Yeah, he's going for the cap win.
Weapon is
Now that he's
gonna
looking
cap
at
it
Katana.
back.
It's not gonna work. Katana can't just needs to hop onto Theta and he can overwatch the.
I mean, he can still go for the
Yes.
cap all the way at the top right side of the map.
He has a lot of ammo left though. What's that, like 290 shots?
But I don't think the assassin can hold two from this position. The Panther can just stand on Theta and overwatch any possible angle he goes towards the other cap.
The Panther can't really do
Okay.
that, to be honest. He can only hold Theta legitimately, to be
Okay, they got a
honest.
2 cap now.
What's the timer at? And
5 minutes.
Andy, I checked the inside of a cockpit. I don't have the score screen anymore.
5 minutes. And you
We
can
meant to
get
score.
it back at the buttons near the enter key, I guess, somewhere there.
Resource point
But I'm
Theta
not
is
sure.
ours.
Professional shoutcasters, we are, guys. Because we're
Yeah.
the only ones here, right? That makes us pros at this.
Professional by
something
elimination.
like that.
Okay, so he definitely
Oh,
has
the Assassin's going for little pot shots on the Panther. Oh,
I
he's going in! He's going in!
Oh, the leg is. Oh,
Oh,
the leg is weak.
That was not
Yeah,
good shielding,
there
and
he
my
goes.
master goes
nice
down.
shots. Nice shots.
Well, that was a win for the comrades. Nice.
Very close match.
So technically, the safe play, he could have just like capped the other one on the other side of the map, and the Panther would have taken like a whole 2 minutes and a half, and he would have lost on the 2 cap.
Yeah, if he'd gone all the way around.
So
But hey, take the kill.
I mean,
Why
not all the way around. He can just go on the sides of the point, and just not be playing,
Yeah,
because
like
he's gonna be
through-
camping.
through the bases of would probably need to be at that range. Because even if you just go low ground, you're still within MPL poke range.
aside from the cap gear at the end, I think seeing Team 1 dive the Victor is something we all expected, right? I
Enemy
mean,
forces
Yeah.
have Sigma.
in that situation. I think what's interesting to note though is that the
They
Uziels
pulled that off really well. It looked like Team 2 wasn't actually prepared to close in on their own victor.
Yeah. I think the thing is that the Uziels on Team 1 died really
The enemy
quickly.
has capped enough
So
resources.
even though
Failed.
Team 1 had more tonnage, I think Team 2 had tankier mechs. And that's why they won the MPL duel afterwards. There's also that strike that they ate while all clustered up top. Probably didn't help it well either.
And looking at the scores here, we have our nice damage from the assassin on the red team. Yep. I forget the team names because they're so long.
Which one do you want to know? Levels team or the number ones? The comrades? The collective.
The comrades. All right.
I do wonder if there was any friendly fire from that Victor, because it has 29 match score, but dealt 170 damage with 6 assists.
I mean, probably a friendly strike, right?
Mm-hmm.
So rest in peace, those watermelons.
Yeah. They're really, really good skirmishing MPL boats, but if you're gonna bring them into that sort of brawl, they just fall apart.
You need to switch teams.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know if I got the right deal.
So everybody ready for the multitude of complaints from the people in the different and wrong teams now?
Yeah, I fucked it up also last time when I need to switch levels team. Den of Wolf is equally hard.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, fess up.
Oh, get Fess up? Right,
The
alright.
problem is they
Forgot about
always jump out and do their own lances when you try to switch them. So they confuse you even more.
Dude, these are some tags I hardly recognize, to be honest, except for like WKA 42. I guess
U4L.
DSX. To be fair, they're relatively new, and that unit name, I look at it and I'm like, wait, what is that? I'm sorry,
What
U4L.
does it stand
You
for? I'm
first,
not even
Urbies
sure.
for life.
I'm sorry,
base,
U4L. Your tag just looks like so generic.
base tag. Base unit name.
Okay, do you want the map overview? Or
I mean, we're gonna see a replay of which team does this, to be honest. Or we'll just see a slightly different version of pure MPL versus MPL this time. Because they've used a single victor now. And they might be trying to save those victors for later. Who knows?
It is really weird to think of a DHG mech as a backliner, but that's exactly what it has to play like in this sort of composition, and I'm not sure mining is the position it took up on that match. It didn't get the lines it needed to get shots off before it got rushed. I'm wondering if they do bring it again, maybe they can position it somewhere potentially with less angles it can get peeked from, and maybe, hopefully, they can screen it better this time.
Well, and I don't know if you guys talked about this already to some extent, but I think the Uzil's there. I don't know if that's the right choice for just a full Bloods. I'd rather see something like, I mean, even some.
Oh, I think someone.
Crab.
I think Hito's already said that already.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that MPL crab. I want to see it.
Is
If
locked.
you just look at how much damage they took early on.
I mean, they are good MPL DPS technically because they could max out due to the cooldown.
Yeah, but they're not good for like just a straight dive,
Yeah.
flat ground brawl like that.
I get why they pick it though. It's a really fun mech, and it in Pop-Tart situations it beats out the crab like 10 times out of 10.
Ridge poking, pop-tarting, but again, that's not what they did with it. So
I feel like but I think their plan had to change there once they saw the Victor. I think they probably wanted to play that sort of skirmish game, and then realized they'd probably lose if they did.
It's locked to Alpha Charlie, just like last match.
I wonder if you could bring a lighter mech though, like a Thanatos, and have it do that same thing, which is force them to make a decision.
Agreed.
Okay, both teams are locked, and we are
that's-
ready to go.
In fact,
Bravo Charlie.
In
That is
5.
Bravo Charlie on team 2. They're going for north side start.
Vexen, what do you think about the dual heavy Gauss Uzil for that application?
Beautiful.
You see, it's a
best
high
mech in the
skill
game.
option, and if you can just headshot all 6 of them in a row, obviously you win the game. It's truly the meta choice for the people that need that extreme high skill ceiling. We just need to see more of those out in competitive play, guys.
They
Please,
could bring 2 of them.
build
They
one
could bring
and
2
take
of
it
them
there.
here. They could bring 2 of them here and a DHD Thani. That would be 6 dual heavy Gauss mechs and a
Okay, I'm
270
gonna
ton
take the
drop.
reds
Do
again,
it.
the right side.
Yes. Moving on.
I want to see you team do it.
Okay.
Let's see what they bring this time.
Ooh,
Command coming in.
Vindicators? I like Vindicators.
Oh,
That's a good
I do
choice.
too.
Stop any
Yeah.
hostiles
Okay.
you go
Uh,
ahead.
in your way.
Windy
You go
with
ahead,
5
Andy.
medium pulse, Windy 5 medium pulse, Windy 5 medium pulse, and Paralyzer with 5 medium pulse, 1 year small. And also
Okay, and
we got a Vulcan
medium
and a
pulse.
6P again, Uzil.
For the uninitiated, the Vindicator 1R is a good mech for this type of map because its main drawback is the lack of speed.
I mean, this has been a favorite since the last ISC because Giga Quirks worth of
Really,
survival
Zeta
and
by the enemy.
the DPS
Yeah.
as well.
Can pack a lot of heat sinks. It has great DPS quirks. I
Well,
wonder
all
if
the
they
Phoenix
bring-
Hawks were 6 MPL and then 5 MPL
1 year small.
Vindicators, if anyone was wondering the specific amount.
I'm curious to see if they went LFE or XL on the Vindies.
I mean, you can't fit an XL. That engine cap is just so limiting.
Oh, that strike.
Yeah, I mean it's either a XL and a ton of heat sinks or an LFE.
Unless you do like a standard.
That could be something as well.
Hmm.
Here we go.
Oh, I mean,
Full-
not like a.
No, I don't. I think that's a decent idea.
The only way you can fit an XL, I mean like standard heat sinks. That's the only
The
way.
weapon is down to 83.
And here,
Kawhi
Kawhi
is down to
Chimera is at
49. He gets
50%.
focused hard.
Chimera,
They rotated
And
away
he's
from
they
down.
finally managed to kill him.
Wow,
Titus
that
is
health
also
spawn
down.
died so fast. It was at full health and then just got popped with Foxfire. It is the squishiest mech on the field, so good.
Oh,
mech
another
focus.
Vindicator goes down for comrades.
Blue got caught really out of position there. Kawhi was lagging behind and got dunked.
Some people are jumping on top of each other. Oh man, this is just starting to snowball here. Unfortunate for comrades. Just
That's
2
very
left
over.
versus 5 mechs. Now Fest is gonna go down. And then there was
Legging.
only one. Fork the Spoon Wrecker.
And he's legged.
Yeah.
That is the end of that.
Survived like one more alpha than I thought it was going to. This was a really quick match, guys.
Yeah, so from what it looked like, as blue pushed in on the right side,
Yep.
but they lost a couple people, were lagging behind, and they got caught on terrain. So, I mean, in a race like this, after you lose that first mech, like you said, Texan, it's just gonna snowball.
Here we got weapon with top damage in his Windy, 495. And on the other side we got Fork in his Phoenix Hawk, 329.
Okay, and now we're switching to the next set of maps. Well, the next two maps. And it will be going up to 340 tonnage, I believe. According to the rules. I remember. Prepares to
350,
open
yes.
the sheet. Oh, 350?
350, yes.
Okay.
And we are on HPG. So I give you the map.
So now the teams should just get ready. Oh, okay. Oh, did we not? Oh, there we go. So for HPG, we have a 350 tonnage. And we're going to see probably what has been happening the last week here. But I think last week was the heaviest drop. So we might see more Pop-Tarts like the Vindicator. Well, Blackjack first of all. But the Vindicator can be played here. Because you don't have that much vertical cover on the top. And the arm mounts are perfectly suitable for shooting down at people, to be honest. And then we might have some mechs on the bottom just covering the Theta Point.
How much do you worry about top control on this? Because since Theta Point is underground,
I mean,
do you expect
realistically,
just a ton of
you can give
short
up
range?
Theta. You can give up Theta. We saw this last ISC.
Mhm.
As long as you have top control, you can literally fight like 2v5 occasionally.
And just rely on FC Kappa control if enemy team overcommits to Theta?
As long as you stay outside, maintain the map control, it's honestly not a problem.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you have to make sure that
You
people
just need
underneath
to remember
understand.
not to stay near like easily rushable areas from the Theta Point. Like you don't want to be just outside the little doorways. You want to be either on the very top of like the whole HPG thing so you can shoot into the backs of them, or just guarding the points themselves in the open ground just to make sure that your team has to worry less about controlling that one point, and then the rest of them can focus on keeping the rest of the people likely in the bottom.
And that's where something like a mech with double seismic can come in handy.
Yep.
Is being able to see where they're going vertically without exposing yourself to a push.
So I guess other mechs that we could possibly talk about that get used here is the Annie, for sure. If you just want to ensure that you never lose the bottom, you'll shove in an Annihilator or some other assault with DACA DPS or LBX. And then that assault can just make sure that you can never push into the theta point. Or you can have it just try the Annie, well, the Annie's the Annie. But I guess it's mostly used for controlling the theta point. We might see laser bomb heavies, or stuff like the Black Widow, I guess, since they have to be accustomed to the tonnage being this much lower than the fit drop. Oh, I just realized the comms are great. Thanks to community hero Judas. Just... Oh, and Orphanator. Reciprocating. In the chat of the match. So anytime now, one team will ready up, and then we'll see what ideas they had for this match.
I wonder if Team 1's Lance assignment is what they intend to bring. One Bravo to go into Kappa, and then Charlie rush for, I guess, either early top control or straight to Theta. And I guess the Alpha spawn is just, well, we can't fit 5 mechs into Charlie.
I'll look at it once they're actually feeling like they're locked in. Because you don't know. Maybe and oh,
they're
never
locked.
mind. You're right.
And
One
they
in Charlie,
can.
one in Alpha, one in Bravo.
Charlie is the fastest way to get up the wall from. No, it's the fastest from Team. It's the fastest
mean,
from both sides, actually. So yeah.
To be honest, you can get on the wall from either spawns, to be honest. Relatively
Fastest ways
fast, as
from
long as you're
Bravo.
Pop-Tarts.
True. One I would say Charlie is the safer route, especially if you don't have as many jump jets.
Okay, so both teams are locked, so I'm starting in 5.
Alpha Bravo for Team 2. Which indicates to me that they're probably gonna do as you say, Texan, and just completely ditch Theta.
But you are kind of stuck out down there.
I mean, you said Team 1?
Team 2 is
Oh.
is Alpha Bravo.
Okay.
So
yeah.
the closest spawn would definitely be Theta. If they wanted to contest Theta, Charlie is by
Yeah,
far the closest.
realistically, just holding the 2 outside caps are the easiest thing you could do if the enemy commits any forces into Theta.
Okay, I'll be checking the max on the south side.
Okay, I will commit to north side.
I do not see Pop-Tarts.
Command coming in.
Nope,
Capture and
we
hold the
see
resource
some
point. Stop any
So
hostiles.
we have
Good
a
ol'-
Bushwhacker with WX10s and a Panda with 3 ER larges. And also a Vulcan 5T, MX90 with WX5, WX10, and a Sleipnir with WX5, WX10.
Is that all from red team?
Yep. And another Vulcan.
Alright. And from blue team, from the comrades, we have a SRM Commando, MPL Vulcan,
Under enemy control.
and we have the triple UAC 5 Roughnecks with some 5 AC2 Jaeger and
We have gained
4
this
UAC
point.
5. Wait,
Tag laser, probably in the
Prometheus,
head.
what you doing? But you have a tag laser on your UAC Sleipnir when none of y'all have any lock-ons.
Bro, it's to make sure that he's not shooting the ridge line.
Understandable, have a nice day. But 4 UAC 5s on that Sleipnir.
I will say,
These-
I really like the Panther here with 3R large as an anti-Pop-Tart measure, because if you set that up on the wall, you can trade very, very advantageously against your standard ERPPC stuff.
The problem
Oh.
is blue team hasn't brought any of that.
Oh, the 2
Yeah.
Vulcans are actually on top of the wall. But
Are
they're-
they Pulse or are they ER large?
They are ER larger.
They're
ER
ER large
large
They're
is-
Vulcans.
both ER large.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Didn't even
I like
check
this
that.
a lot.
Red team took a lot of ER
Resource
larges.
point Theta is
Oh,
covered.
and
Yeah.
oh no, the Fest in the
Oh,
Roughneck, he
no,
got
that's
caught in the
tragic.
crossfire.
That is
Why was he-
tragic.
Why was he there though?
He
Oh,
was
Judas
ju-
is
he
eating
was
a
just
big
pressing
strike.
W, and then
They're
the rest of
Naka
his
pushing.
team got distracted by the wall Vulcans.
And the Sleipnir is nearly down. And the Sleipnir Prometheus is
Oh
down.
no.
There's an open field slaughter right here.
This is depressing.
I
Yep.
don't know why they didn't just run into Theta. There's no reason to push versus this many large max.
I mean, they didn't know, because to be fair, these mechs aren't that fast as well.
Their
So
plan
by the time
was-
one guy overcommitted, but yeah, the other two mechs committing after the first one dies is definitely not their
A bit
brightest.
The comrades
Play.
only have the commando and the Vulcan
On the
left.
commando, just getting into the rear of that Cyclops, and he unfortunately had to run
That's
off.
not gonna matter.
But if you have a Vulcan and a Commando, you should still be able to check that while getting the cap, right?
Yeah, they team two.
I mean, they
team one
all
took a
they
long
all
time.
walked out there at once, and the Vulcans were baiting for comrades to come out.
And the
So that was a
Vulcan
good
on the
job from
Vulcan.
them.
But they
He
should
gets
have.
down the Mauler. Nice.
They should really have had a lot
Big
more
dice
intel from the
roll.
commando early. That thing should not be waiting with the rest of the group to get to push with them. Realistically,
Last I thought, he wasn't with them. He was just on Theta constantly, right?
no, he's been in the fight the entire time. He did not go for Theta until.
Oh no,
quite
I
recently.
don't mean like after the fight ended. I meant like in the first minute and a half. Like he went for Theta, it looked like, because of his spawn, and then he just stayed down there until like the fight was halfway through.
That just
I
looks
don't
really
know.
weird to me.
I actually wasn't paying attention to that one commando because it was, but it should be just easy
Yeah,
to
the-
cap.
this
The
match
commando
is-
needs to just get back there and end the match. To be honest, unless he can snipe the bushwhacker.
It doesn't
But-
even matter. The match is over. The Vulcans can literally just Overwatch 1 point each
Oh
if they
right,
need to, and the
There's
commando
no way
could
to
never
win,
fucking
and
cap.
kills don't count for points. I forget that sometimes. Just
Yeah,
so
there's-
used.
There's actually nothing left to talk about. It's just a matter of waiting for the cap win, unless the commando does something stupid and ends it early.
So I get the rationale behind the open ground push, but it just looks so weird. Because
Yeah.
all of
Nice
LGBT
strike
were
on the
set up and
Bushwhacker
ready to
again.
shoot.
Brings him down to 41.
Because Team 1's idea was to do what Texan suggested and just control Epsi Kappa, and they wanted to do that through low ground
And
tactical
the
push and
back
just
on the
overwhelm
commando
the
is
shit
open.
out of anything on the other team. But they don't have anything to counter potential Pop-Tarts, and they also, especially not stuff like these large Vulcans, which I
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
really like.
You're not
It's a
gonna
great
kill an
MPL
ER
mech.
You're not going to kill an large Vulcan quickly with anything. Unless you get right
No.
on top of it. Like, if it's on the wall, it's staying on the wall.
And the commando's leg.
I mean, hypothetically, if you had like triple PPC Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
No, just one
Just
more.
Excel
you can get
checker.
him. You can get him. Oh.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Bushwhacker survived.
Oh, and the caps are still going. Right?
For another like 20
'Cause
seconds.
The Conquest cap calculation pod.
Dog.
It's gonna wait until they're finally literally equivalent, or until they uncap it.
Seems like it.
Guess while waiting, do any of these people have any bolt-ons left?
Doesn't look like they brought any in the first place.
Rip.
I will
Need
say,
more
I do
fashion.
really like the large Vulcan for situations when you can afford to not bring an MPL Vulcan.
Oh,
Because the
God,
MPL Vulcan is S tier, but large, it's got great amounts. It's got a 10% range quirk, so it trades just as well as anything else. And it's annoyingly hard to trade against if you're in something like a PPC vehicle.
Squishy in the Slepner with the big farm, 605 damage. And Captain Judas in the Bushwhacker did some work, 575. That's also nice.
Rest in peace to Slepnir and the Roughneck on the other side.
But
83 and 47 damage.
They just got caught out in the 4v1 and the 4v2 there.
Damn.
It's quite unfortunate. That one Roughneck just went a little bit too far, and then he got murdered to death.
yeah,
Murdered to death.
I think we can agree though that they should have done some initial screening before that roughneck pushed out.
For sure, yeah. They needed a lot more intel
They didn't
before
scout
committing like
fast
that.
enough with the more easily survivable mechs.
You need to
Okay.
switch them.
Yep. Now,
Kawaii
I'm gonna-
fork and fast down.
I'm
Kawaii
gonna
fork
do
and
this.
fast down.
all right.
Oh, you're doing it easy mode. Okay.
Yeah,
Let them start at the lances after.
there we go. I think we got it. Now, if anyone read the chat and didn't get what that was in reference to, I believe that was in reference to more. If I remember right, even. And that was a couple years ago. And they got shoved into Div A. NA.
More the Martial Olympiad Reborn.
Yes. They were shoved in there and they got absolutely ripperonied.
Understandable. Div A is Div A. What can you say?
At least it was back then, for sure. Much harder competition. Now, for this redo of this mirror change, will we see the same tactics being played on the opposite side of the map? Or will we see a change from Team 2 that unfortunately had their deck kinda just mauled to death? Oh wait, they had a mauler, so I guess that's also a pun.
And
Enemy
we lost
team.
all of the team. Looks like they need to change something up.
What was the Mauler's
Some
build? Was it
McLaren.
UAC 5, UAC 10?
Yeah, same as the step, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess the ballistic range helps with the trading on if you're just playing the fight at the two corners of those gates.
True, but I'm not a huge fan of. If you're worried about range on UAC 5, UAC 10, well, there's AC2 boats that work. That
I mean, yeah,
So
but
that's not good.
technically it's still I want to say 40 to 50 more meters of range.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like a Mauler is very squishy for the sort of role you
Yeah.
want it in this context. An
Think it-
Annihilator, 10 tons heavier, granted, does the job much, much better.
Yeah, but that's 10 significant tons. And in ISC, when your mechs are significantly more limited due to the lack of options, to be honest.
You can bring each chassis only 3 times.
Okay, so I guess we've got some Annihilators planned for the upcoming drops, huh?
Definitely.
It's only the best assault in the game. Oh, Team 1 is locked now, by the way, guys. On Alpha Charlie for Team 1,
Alpha Charlie.
which is the exact same thing that the other team did on that side.
Yep.
So we, oh right, they played the Vulcan a lot, so maybe Team
Team 2 may
1
be out of all.
will have to run different mechs on the wall, or they are actually changing up the strat. Because if I remember correctly, they had a couple they had like one Vulcan each drop on the first one, right?
Well, didn't they have 3 Vulcans on one of the mining drops?
Maybe? I don't
They
know.
had at least 2. I'm not sure, but
We're not
if
refs,
3.
but if you're only limited to like a certain amount of chassis per like the whole
Which chassis do you mean?
The Vulcan. Because they played it like
Vulcans
one, like they
Yeah.
played it a couple times already.
If they lost, they can't bring it again. If they didn't
Oh,
lose, I think
okay.
they can bring
Right.
it again. Isn't there some rule like that? Give me a second.
Okay,
Let's figure
that's-
that out.
That's the very specific ruling. All right, thanks for explaining that.
I'm gonna check. I don't know if it's.
You just type in chassis limit in the rule book. But remember, guys, we are just casters, not referees, and we're totally pro casters.
Something
No.
like that.
No, you can't bring it again.
What?
It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Only 3 max of any one chassis will be allowed per set of 6 drops.
Oh, well, they already broke that
Didn't
shit.
they? Yeah,
Wait,
didn't they
6
bring?
drops?
I'm checking. Which side do you mean? Which team? The comrades took 2 Vulcans in drop 1.
Yeah, no, Levels team. Did they take the Vulcans and drop one?
Nope, they took the 2 Ozeals and 2 Phoenix Hawks.
No,
How about drop
okay.
2?
Drop 2, they took the Windy, 3 Windies, 1 Ozeal, 1 Vulcan.
Ah,
They went 1 and 2.
there we go.
Okay, yeah.
Nicely planned out.
And then they had on HPG another 2 Vulcans, so the Vulcans
Yeah.
are gone.
Vulcans are out. I wonder what they're gonna sub them out for this time. Could be blackjacks, honestly. That's
Yeah, I
probably
think-
the best medium lightweight trader left available.
I was surprised to not see any blackjacks last round.
Hmm.
I mean, hopefully we'll see some this
Oh yeah, for
this
sure. I
match.
usually see them come out right away.
There's definitely something to be said for
3-man
use
blackjack?
execution for Vulcan for ER large versus ER PPCs though. It's much harder to mess up the former. So if they're I can see why a team would prefer ER large up on the wall instead.
Okay, so both teams are locked. Team 2 is Bravo Charlie.
Be curious to see if we see any more creative hybrid tag DACA builds.
Yes, the very essential tag. At that point, you might as well put a flamer on it. Come on, like have it spitting flames while it's throwing DACA. At that point, if you're going to waste tonnage like that.
Hey, but the flamer can't blind people's corneas if you stick the tag laser into the enemy cockpit. That's the pro strat, guys.
Okay, on the
If
laser
south side
if you
again,
stick a
we
flamer
have
into
2
someone's cockpit,
Wolfhounds.
they're blinded as well. Granted, range, but
Hey,
2
hey,
Wolfhounds with
match.
medium pulses, and we have also a Warhammer 6R with
There's
double
the-
Gauss, 3 Ultra 5 Black Widow,
Gained Epsilon.
a Cataphract with double Gauss, 4 ER meats, and another 6R.
So, how many
Also
air
with
mediums
Gauss.
do those Warhammers have?
4 ER meats, 2 Gauss.
LFE Gauss Vomit.
I'll
That
say
they're
4
all going-
UAC 5 Black Widow build is very
is that
slow.
all the max on
Yep.
comrades team?
Yes. They're
Okay,
all in the
on
basement.
the blue team we have just UACs on top of UACs. UAC 10s and 5s on the 2 Victors, UAC 5s on the Black Widow, Quad UAC 5, just a nice old fan favorite. And we also have 2 PPC Blackjacks that are going up onto the wall. They'll see you there in like another minute.
So, Levels team is in the position that Comrades was
And a
last time.
spider,
so
you forgot the spider.
we'll see how they play it.
Oh yeah, but he's just a spider. Everyone knows
The
that
1
this
year
spider,
large.
how
Hey,
annoying
JJ.
it
large.
is.
He's seeing if he can get Epsilon.
Okay, the red team is now in the basement, poking out with all gauzes.
Yeah, if you're gonna take basement like that, having that sort of trade is probably the only thing that'll make it worth their time. But I do wonder if they're just gonna give up Kappa like that. They've
They
got a
have a Wolfhound,
Wolfhound
yeah.
hovering.
I
So-
mean, it looks like comrades want to just hold that angle, which is a
Mhm.
good thing for stopping them from getting into Kappa with
Yeah.
multiple people.
they have to send sign to kill the
But as
Wolfhound
soon
if
as
they
the
don't get Kappa.
Blackjacks get in position, to be honest,
That Wolfhound should honestly be sticking right underneath Kappa. That way it can't get hit by the Spider or the Blackjacks.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what the Blackjacks do. My guess is that red team wants to shoot onto the ridge from the basement if the Blackjacks try to push towards Kappa.
oh, and the Blackjack's taking a lot of return fire.
There
Fortunately,
it is.
They should be using vertical cover more better than that.
I mean, they're unfortunately in the perfect trading range. Oh, Squishy just barely dodged that Gauss rifle, but now he's doubling back.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
should-
and
he
he's
should
almost
be-
dead.
Yikes,
Torso
that's a
is
lot
a
of
range.
damage.
Or actually, almost
he's
side
probably
torso.
he's probably Elfie. He should be. I think he should be going hard towards
Well,
Kappa.
we will find
Use
out
that
here in a moment.
corner.
Yep, he's okay. He's Elfie.
He's
Yeah,
Elfie.
The deck is gonna come in here. And the deck is gonna push up and trade while the Blackjacks try to make it across the top.
I think those Wolfhounds are in big trouble momentarily. Those the Victors and the
it's
Warhammer
they're
are just gonna run them
separated.
over.
No, they
Oh,
are
and-
not.
Probably-
Yep, and then now red team has to counter push. They have to pincer them now, otherwise they're just going to lose both side control, and they're going to have to
The
push out into
Spider
the
is
open
annoying
against
the
the
Wolfhounds,
Blackjacks and
nothing
Spider.
The Wolfhounds are kind of stuck here, so
Yep, here comes the push. Oh, or not.
no.
I mean,
Cataphractic
they're not going to
open on
push. They
both
don't have enough.
torsos.
Yes, the Gauss hammers.
Yeah, this is a silly thing to push for red team.
Yeah, but if blue team should capitalize,
The best thing they
well,
could
they're
do is
afraid of
get.
blue
Oh,
team.
nice shot into the back of the Victor from Prometheus.
Now the Wolfhounds are gonna go in, so let's see if they can clean up. But they need to time this really well,
Mm,
otherwise.
yeah, they're in a really tough spot. I think blue team needs to push towards the Wolfhounds and
Oh,
just
and
kill
the
both of
strike
them right
going
now.
in on blue
They
team.
can
I
get
think the
away.
Victor's going to get
Yeah, this is a big strike.
hit.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one Wolfhound is down.
At this point, I think the
And there
Blackjacks
goes the
drop
Oh,
down.
Blackjack.
on
yeah,
the
there goes the
Wolfhound.
Blackjack, yeah.
Now it's an even fight with the amount of people, but this other Wolfhound's in the middle of like a Victor. He's almost dead.
I think Psycho wants to get out of here.
Oh no, he ignored the Wolfhound. Oh, and the
Oh,
Wolfhound
oh.
just walks in front
Walks
of
in
him and
front.
gets killed anyways.
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
Gauss hammers do not have the DPS to fight against those DACA Victors like this.
Yeah, it's just not a push you can make.
Okay, Jude is jumping down. Gonna get some bags.
On the last DACA Black Widow, taking that Victor, but Judas coming in from behind on the Black Widow.
Oh, nope.
Black. Oh,
I
it's
get
dead.
some. Okay.
There it is.
I get why red team made that push because they were afraid blue would just hard commit and kill the Wolfhounds. But as Sep
Let's be
said,
honest
you
here.
cannot make that push. Not with
Let's be
those
honest.
mechs.
So, I honestly think that the two Wolfhounds can just run from Kappa to basement to Epsilon and not die.
Confirming that we have possession of
Kappa. I
Technically, very
I would've-
true.
would
think
have liked
I
them
think the
see.
two Wolfhounds could just run through the entirety of blue team without dying. There's no reason to push out there.
I would have liked them like to see them rotate to Sigma maybe, and then red team sends one mech to decap and flip Epsilon. Maybe that would have extended their cap.
You could go the long way around.
Yeah, I don't like their odds of running through that mess personally, but it's probably doable.
I mean, I feel like what they should have done is like once they saw for sure the
Resource point Theta is ours.
well, blue
Captured resource point
went
Sigma.
through that choke point, they should have just like got out of the basement, got onto the top of the near the satellite, used that range advantage of the trade with the Gauss rifles instead of just fighting in the optimal VUAC 10s, and just
Agreed.
hold that choke point, and
Yeah.
then have their Wolfhounds take the Epsi.
But if we're being honest, if the gunnery on red team is just that littlest bit better, Squishy should die there as soon as he peeks that entrance
Mhm.
from the top.
Yeah.
There's no reason he should have lived there. And so I think that if you run 3 or 4 Gauss Vomit mix for the express purpose of punishing people who are trying to push across that, I like the idea. The idea is, I think that idea is fine. But you need to be hitting the shots because that's the only reason to bring them.
I mean, they also only had quad ERMLs with Twin Gauss. Not enough firepower, maybe. Could be a reason why they didn't finish them off.
That's enough.
That's the
firepower to kill
LFP build.
Blackjack.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The Black Widow did some work. 590.
I would not run in the XL Gauss hammers in these.
I mean, you don't have to run
You can-
XL.
yeah,
you
you
just
can run
need to
an
run with
LFE.
less ammo.
You can run an
yeah.
LFE and run it slow or with less ammo.
True.
But I don't think there's any way that Blackjack should have lived versus 6 Gauss rifles.
Yeah, there were definitely some critical misses there. And a Blackjack going down definitely puts a hell of a lot more pressure onto blue team to do something silly. Because you no longer have nearly as much ability to pressure the Wolfhounds from 2 different angles.
And that's why I think that if they did kill that Blackjack, that makes the idea of having the Wolfhounds push through the blue team a lot more viable.
Okay, and then we go to the Grimplexus.
So what's the score at right now? If Andy's keeping track.
Levels team won 3 drops with 23 kills, and the comrades did win 1 drop with 12 kills. And the tonnage is going up to 430.
2 people has lost connection to the lobby.
Or they're getting subbed out, one of the 2. It is what it is.
Oh yeah.
And I'm giving you the map strat.
Alright, so for Grimplexus, 3-cap, this is in fact literally the largest map I think in this pool. There's like nothing else that's better pull off some type of cap strategy. Or trying to counter the cap strategy, well, the cap strategy directly, with maybe doing a brawl push directly on where you think they're going to take an Overwatch position. Or maybe just taking some IS Lerms to pelt their position if they're out in the open.
Hell yeah, let's see the dumbass Lerm strats. I want to see it happen.
Oh, it's very possible from level. I expect great whooshes from him.
But didn't their team get whooshed last week? They get fucked on one map due to Lerms. They brought AC2s and got fucked by Lerms.
But you see here, on such a big map with so much open ground, and considering how you don't fight much, you don't need to fight at all near the center, since there's like nothing really valuable there in caps. Just stay on the sides of the map. They're very large open lanes, and you just go whoosh. And with the heaviest drop being this one, you're gonna see heavies, assaults, and only like a single medium or 2, to be honest. because you can't afford to go lower. Otherwise, you're just gonna lose in a numbers game in armor, total armor value.
Yeah, for 430 tons for 6 mechs averages out to just over 70 per mech. So that's a
Ooh,
lot of tonnage on the field.
Team 1 is locked, and they're going Alpha Bravo, the usual meta that we saw from the last ISC season.
Just sacking Kappa and then going. Sorry,
You go the
Team 1.
camp that one F10 G10 spot, and you're able to essentially do Overwatch cover on the only 2 caps on the right side of the map.
Makes sense.
We saw that a lot. Oh, the sec. Okay, both teams are
The roof
locked.
Bravo
That's
Charlie.
Bravo
from Team
Charlie. That's interesting. Are they gonna try fighting super long range from Sigma to Gamma?
What was Team 2?
Team 2 is Bravo Charlie spawns.
Okay, so they're gonna try to do the same thing. You're gonna try to they're gonna take that cap on the way, most likely, and then try to take that Overwatch spot maybe. So we might see some good Daka, or we might see some Lerms in the middle of that one map position.
Okay, I'm on the south side again, looking at the max.
Okay, I will take the north side.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the resource points. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
Okay, we got a King Crab with 6 AC2s. We got a MX90, 6 AC2s. We got an MX90, 6 AC2s. We got a King Crab with 6 AC2s.
2 king crabs.
I'm
And
sorry.
We got a 2 Commando 1Ds with 2 SM4s and a Flamer.
Okay. For the red team, we have an SPL Flea, we have Laser Vomit and Pulse Vomit Chargers with LPLs, MPLs, and just standard lasers. And we have a Splat Clops. And we have a 3 AC-10 Victors.
So, where are the Annihilators?
They're chilling.
If you're gonna bring King Crabs, I'm reasonably convinced an Annihilator is probably tankier for that job.
You see, the pro meta strat is to snippy snappy at your opponents, and that intimidation factor just automatically forces the enemy team to suicide. Obviously, you just
I
don't
understand.
understand.
I
Yeah.
do now. That's really enlightening. I'm also pretty sure those King Crabs can also fit ER PPC or maybe 2 ER larges on those high mounted energy mounts. But
And they're
6
all
8 seems
ignoring
it's
Kappa.
undergunned.
I don't get why the commanders don't go to Kappa.
Because you're trying to just scout out where that push is coming from at all times. And the King Crabs with the AC2s and the Maulers with the AC2s,
The fleas
they're
going
trying to
Kappa
get
now.
up to that Overwatch position. So
I
they're
feel like
trying
they should send one commando over to Kappa though, just
Yeah.
like the fleet is
Ah,
moving
I
there.
mean, they
Fleas
don't
on
wanna
its
get
way now
caught
from
out.
the other team.
it looks like they might send one out.
Nope.
No?
They're just chilling there.
Oh yes. Nope.
Having.
Oh, they're just gonna get into the back and distract them while the rest of their assaults get into position then, I guess.
The question is, can they get there in time?
Or they just gonna trade with them.
What the... Oh, I mean, yeah, they're passing the point. So
Is
all
this-
they have to do
Enemy control.
is just keep going forward.
What's the range from here to Gamma at this point? If they get caught out at this spot, do they win this? Well, they have nothing
Commandos
to
need
get
Sigma.
to.
The commandos just need to get in there.
They're going for
What-
Sigma. I don't get this. What are they
They're
doing?
taking so long.
Commanders are capping Sigma next.
They're not going to
Question
be
is,
able to
why
fight
are the
this
AC2
fight,
mechs
to be
shifting?
honest.
They are going up the hill, okay?
Yes.
they're gonna
You
go
need
all
to
the way
get
up
on
the
top
hill.
of that hill. They
But they
actually
shoot.
need
I
to
see.
turn and backpedal and shoot. Like right
Yeah.
now, they actually need to
Well,
turn
they don't have
back.
line of sight. They don't. They
Weapons
haven't.
keeping
know
weapons
they're
keeping eyes
there.
on it. Yep. So here's where they turn around.
Yep.
No, it's just a question of whether they can win in
And
the
big
open
strike
field.
in the middle of the max. Juice is
Juice
gonna
can't
get
see
hit
it.
hard.
They
Probably gonna
have
hit
enough
Juice
AC
and
to-
smaller.
Through this push, there's no
Okay,
way
Charger's
the
dead.
Chargers make it through.
One Charger's dead.
We've captured resource
These Chargers are awfully tanky.
They're rotating the
And the
king
next
crabs.
charge is dead.
No.
That
oh my
Mauler
goodness.
died very quickly.
And Juice
it
is
is a
down.
mauler, I mean.
One MX-90 is
Yeah.
down.
Dying is what they do.
Esram Brawl Cyclops goes
Oh, and I
in
think they're
half.
actually legging the crabs. That
Yep.
delicious crab meat.
Yep.
Pretty solid idea.
Oh, the AC2 boats are splitting fire. They're just taking like 2 1v1s, and they're
Judas can't hit.
focusing their fire.
Judas can't hit Leona from his position.
Leg
He
is
should
red.
just stay
Yeah.
open on
The
top
leg
of the
is
hill.
gone. Other leg is yellow.
Oh, here
Those
comes
victors
Commandos.
need to be
Commandos
using
getting in there.
their
Commandos
twist
are here.
advantage.
Yeah,
Those
the
vic-
2 commandos are just gonna come in here. Oh, one of them got hit in the face.
They showed up really late though.
Mm.
Yeah.
They still. Oh, they do win this though because of the cap advantage.
Yeah, that Mauler just stays up there. He just sets up his chair. He waits for any movement from the last
he
flea.
needs to shift to the left. But
That was
where's he
interesting.
going?
I mean, he can also just camp at Sigma, to be fair, and then the 2 commandos take Gamma.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure those commandos and flamers have to be slower than.
Oh, the strike! Oh, he actually
He
saw
sees
it in
it.
time,
He's
thankfully.
booking it.
There's not much that this little flea can do unless he can 1v2 2 fresh commandos. Here they come.
They're both flamer commandos, so they can't beat him in the straight line race. If they're not
They
running
probably
race.
go what 100, 130 max versus the fleas 170.
150 and the flea sustained versus of 175. A
Good call.
commando can catch up to a flea on open ground if it has max engine.
Oh yeah, especially since these are the max engine 1Ds.
Well, are they? They're running 2 flamers.
They're flamers. Yeah,
Oh, well,
they can't be. Probably XL200.
I mean, they could, hypothetically.
Just without much ammo.
Mhm.
I like the idea of what blue is doing there. I just think that they didn't get there fast enough.
Blue or
Just
red?
forward.
Blue with the king crabs.
I think the sole advantage of the King Crab in this setup is that it has a bigger engine cap than an Annihilator, so it definitely
Yeah.
got them to that point faster, which
Yeah, and
is
you can see
probably
they
a
were-
critical aspect of how that match went, because the Annies would have gotten caught out earlier.
Yeah, they probably stuffed huge engines in them. And that's why they were a little bit undergunned.
I like that idea.
But they needed
I
to
take
be...
back most of
But
the
to
negative
be
stuff I
honest, if
said
they
about
just
it.
had the Annies instead, and the
They
commandos just
yeah.
engaged at the correct time, it still would have been this way.
Yeah, they just straight up win that fight really, really hard if they have 2 Annies, even in a slightly worse position, because they're so much harder to kill. Although through legging,
Yeah, I was
not
gonna say
that
they
much
legged
of
it
a
anyways,
difference.
so...
Yeah.
That's interesting though. I guess it just
It
shows
was.
how
That King Crab and that Mauler farmed.
how good ISAC2 is. Is that
Wow.
you can just
Hog
juke
2s.
people up. Yeah, juice.
And I think this is like a 4-1 for
Yep.
Seems
Level's
like-
team versus Comrades. Now, this is the end of the series. I guess the only thing we have left is to do an interview, I guess, with whoever they send over. And we're actually in the Discord.
comp Discord.
Yeah. We don't really have that many good questions, I guess, unless they want to brag about anything.
I have questions.
Okay.
Okay. There's
Feel free to
level.
ask them.
Yeah, now we just need Orphanator.
Festus
Another.
is coming.
Oh, okay.
How's it going, guys?
Okay. Oh, right, and he has Shoutcaster perms. Pog.
Yeah. So question
Hey,
number
guys.
1. How big are the engines on those king crabs? Or is that secret tech?
Max engine.
Ah, see, you were right.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to. Normally, those crabs would run like 6 AC2s and an ERP. We dropped the ERP and up the engine.
Should have just XL'd those since we're getting legged.
Well-
Go full Taekwon V on them.
Okay, well, normally that was actually a valid option, right? We were thinking about it, but we had issues with some of the scrims the last couple of weeks where like people were XL checking the king crabs, right? It's like, uh-oh.
How dare they.
Crazy.
Well, it looks like they ate some crab legs on that first one.
Yeah. The mauler that Juice was in on that last drop, that was painful to watch. Like, as soon as he turned around, as soon as we called out that they were coming around the corner at us for a push, he turned around and he just got annihilated. I think he got like just 2 or 3
punch
shots
back
off
shots?
before he died.
Dying is the specialty of the Mauler.
Truly.
It was a good match though. They fought real well. That was definitely not a pushover. We practiced a lot for this match.
Yeah, we knew we had a bunch above our weight, so we brought out some more unorthodox strats, trying to counter Level's Galaxy Brain.
So far, only the French weebs have been able to manage that. F-37, they're the only
Those
ones.
are fun guys.
They are. They've
So-
also gotten a lot better since TOC when they first started. 'Cause that's when they founded their team in 2020. So like, yeah, it was nice watching them grow up because we used to well, not grow up, but grow as a team because when they were still fresh and baby fresh, brand new, never played their first drop yet, we would like practice with them and scrim with them a lot. And I know other people have too, like Ultimate Ghost and other EU guys like Jay-Z have done it too. So they've had a lot of like high-end people over the last year, you know, dropping by every now and then and helping them. So they're earning their wins this season for sure.
So Fess, if you don't mind, the Gauss Vomit deck on HPG.
So we were initially running Cataphracts there, and we were going to take high ground top and more or less do a variant of what we did with the Roughnecks. But we realized they were not almost ever going to brawl us. So we switched at the last second to let's go far range pinpoint and try and beat the UX on exposure time. And it didn't quite work. I was not in that drop, but so I can't comment too much on it.
Is that the first HP or the second HPG drop?
Second one.
Second. You guys got close there. To be honest, we were having a little trouble with the Wolfhounds, right? We knew that they were all over there, and our spider almost missed it, and he almost dropped down to try to take that cap, and he almost got his ass ganked. But he was able to get a ping at the very last second, right before he jumped down, and that saved his bacon. But those Wolfhounds were dangerous because we weren't sure how to position our mechs because of them. But we knew that you guys had both the caps, and the Wolfhounds were keeping our cap spider from taking that second cap. So we had to do something. So we shifted right, put ourselves between the Wolfhounds and the rest of the team. And then the idea was put the pressure and force the push at us so we could receive it. Because we were in a position where it was easier to receive a push than counter push, right? And that's what we did. But that match was so close, to be honest, that if it wasn't for that, you guys definitely would have won that. That we got lucky with Thylas in his Victor. He was shooting at a Warhammer, and this Wolfhound ran right in front of him, right in front of his shots, and got its sput yeeted.
Yeah.
And that was such a lucky break for us because he fired one burst of rounds, hit the Wolfhound, and fired the second burst, finished off that Warhammer before he went down. So he was able to finish off 2 mechs before he went down. So Thylas is MVP for that drop.
Yeah, I got one question as related to that drop. Fest, I know you weren't in it, but Level, How do you think that match plays out if, instead of pushing into you, they rotate the Wolfhounds around to the original cap and force you guys to push back to it? Do you think you just push into basement then?
You mean if the Wolfhounds manage to get out around and take our back cap?
Or just run through your team?
If they ran through the team, I know I have pilots like Judas who are incredible shots. He could have maybe like fucked one up. Sorry, language. He could have maybe screwed one up really hard with some back shots. But with that said, that would have worked. That might have been better because that would have threw everything that we were positioning for out the window, right? And then I probably would have had to like we would probably would have had to push the guys in the basement at that point, because if we lost all the caps, we'd be in a very, very bad position. That and you guys almost picked Squishy off one of our blackjacks off the top of the wall. Yeah,
we were
you guys got so close to finishing him off. That's another reason why what forced our hand was because our wall mechs were losing their trades, and so we had to do something. But if it wasn't for that very particular things of what happened in that drop, I do think that could have went your guys' way, Fess. You guys played that actually pretty good.
I very much would have liked to drop the assaults faster than the blackjack. There was some missed targets and missed focus fire that should have played a bigger part in there, because the blackjack was never going to kill us. The victors were.
Well, and we were saying that blackjack should have died the first peak he made. There's no reason that he lives versus 6 cost wrestlers. Where our assaults were, if you guys poked out to be able to shoot out of where our assaults were at the time when you guys were legging into the blackjack, your mechs would have been overexposed and facing a whole fire line. So taking out the guys at the top probably would have been the smarter move. Like I said, you guys almost had the one down, and those guys on the wall were all that was keeping those wolfhounds from decimating my assaults when you guys did your push. So if you guys were able to drop a wall mech or two, you guys would have just annihilated us because you guys had us surrounded. And one last question. VXS of the chat is wondering why you wouldn't use Cicada 3Fs instead of Vulcans for your large snipers. Is it just because of the durability, or did you not have the Vulcans planned for a later drop?
Normally, we in earlier weeks we would use all of our Vulcans for MPLs and stuff, skirmishing, what they're best at. But I wanted mechs on the wall, and I didn't have the tonnage to spare. Well, first we were using blackjacks on the second drop, and I didn't have we could only use a blackjack and something else, and I don't know. I find it's a lot easier to have multiple of the same mech because it's harder. Because I know how people call. They'll call like Alpha, or they'll call like shoot the Vulcan, right? But there's like 3 Vulcans. The focus fire spreads out usually. Not, I should say usually, but for some.
So you assumed it was an availability problem.
It was as much availability problem as it was that we liked the Vulcan because it had jump jets. It could pop tart a little bit if need be. And I think it's a cicada, right? So like, it's kind of dismissed by most people.
Yeah, Vulcan's a bit tougher to dig out.
Yeah. So we just felt that with the Vulcans that their time to like how long it takes to take one down because of their agility, that survivability was more important to us than just using something like a cicada or another like a fucking panther.
And then throwing it all the way back to the first drop, I don't know which team brought the victor.
That was them.
We brought the victor.
Yeah. So Level, how do you feel about using, for instance, a pair of crabs instead of a pair of Uziels for that first drop? Because we had remarked that the Uziels seem to die pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, but it's with mining. You never know what your opponent's going to do, and if you do something like crabs, they get hard countered by like Phoenix Hawks up top, right? Because they can't get all their lasers to shoot upwards, and being able to jump jet and have the mobility to reposition if needed was more important. For that one, we dived the Victor really well, but after that, like, people forgot that, like, when you see an assassin, you always go legs no matter what. we kind of spread our shots all over the assassins, to be honest, and it was kind of poor focus fire. Still really close. That at the end, that when you guys legged our Vulcan, that was great. I actually laughed at comms because it was so close, and I was like, and then he gets legged and he's just hobbling to Theta. I was like, oh, we're not going to get this. And so I was like, well, if he gets on Theta,
Panther.
It's so funny. You forgot
Panther.
what mech
but
he was
it's like if he
piloting.
gets on Theta, he can, the other mech can either go run around all the way around the map to go take the other cap, right, or run through him. And so, but it was great that the assassin came at him, but he just wasn't. That we weren't able to finish him off. Whoever was in that assassin was a great twister. It was able to keep those MPLs from focusing off that side torso.
Yeah, that was me.
Well done, dude.
I had a good. I won drop 1, but I lost the drop 3 with that roughneck push.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of you guys kind of like came at us one at a time. Unfortunately, it was on that drop. I will say that was kind of a shooting gallery, because first it was the roughneck, and then a cyclops, and then another roughneck or something. But yeah, that would be the only drop I'd say that was a big oof on your side. Other than that, I mean, you guys fought super well, and this was not an easy win, by all means.
Sorry, I have a quick question about that roughneck drop. You guys were team blue team on that push, and your roughnecks were pushing from side cap to side cap. Was your goal to just ignore Theta entirely and just hold the side caps after you made that push, or where would you have moved if that push had been successful?
The goal was to take the area underneath the wall, and the roughnecks have UX in the arms to shoot up. And our bet was if they have any wall mechs, we're going to have better angles with our arm actuators. So clear the wall, take the caps. Then their commandos are playing long range. So if you look at a map of HBG, they're going Echo 4, Echo 5, Delta 5, and up and around. But if we control Delta 4, we have a much shorter line to get both Kappa and Epsilon. And unless we dramatically won the fight, we weren't going to take Theta.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Nice.
That's what we were playing, was the outside caps too. Yeah, where you guys moved was literally where we were heading to also. Park our butts right there in that D4 between the two caps, and then tell you to come 1v1 us.
It's a good strategy, especially if you got good pilots.
Yeah,
We were expecting shorter range, either shorter or longer range mechs. So if they were shorter, they'd be over an Echo 5. We had eyes over there. If they had longer range, we were going to use the superior DPS because the Roughneck 2A is quirked for UX. So basically, we were hoping for an unconventional rush angle to throw you guys off more than it did. In those, what was it, the Mauler and the Cyclops rounded the corner, I was already in the open, had nowhere to go, and then everyone just followed me in.
it happens. Well done tonight, Fess. You guys fought real good.
Appreciate you,
We can
Matt.
scrim now, though, because we won't face the rest of the season. I'll hit you up about that.
Can do. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Always.
Alright, casters, any more questions?
Not really, I guess, besides
Good games.
just
Nice.
terrestrial
Really interesting.
about why the king crab still.
Yeah, it was good to see some.
If
different
they had
stuff.
brought Annihilators, our plan would have worked so much better.
Yeah.
'Cause we had scrimmed-
If we were slow, you guys would have fucking rolled on us. That's
'Cause we
why
would've-
we had the max engine king crabs. We could not risk you guys a brawl team, a brawl rush coming at us and catching us before we got into position.
we timed that 3 or 4 times. The Annihilator would be at Gamma by the time we were at Gulf 8, and we rush them 400 meters across open ground. That's it. But
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
what
were
it's-
600 meters up that hill and backing up.
Very nice counter strat.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that kind of stuff
I
come
mean, to be honest, still though, those commandos, if they were actually just got in there, then he still would have won.
Commandos did pretty good.
I don't know. I felt like your commandos got in there like 2 to 3 minutes late.
They did. Okay, so the main fight they got in too late, but I mean, the whole point is that it seemed like it was going to be an equal trade, all of our heavy guys for all their heavy guys, and then it was going to come down to a light fight. So that I had them hesitate.
I mean, y'all had them scattered. You saw 5 assaults. I thought y'all knew that you needed to actually pull them into the fight.
Well, where we got scouting information on the mini map, we saw mechs like in the center, but we didn't know that they were brawl mechs yet, right? We assumed that at first we actually thought you guys were going to Hamburger Hill. We thought that was really stupid. I'm not gonna lie. So when our commanders first scouted you, someone said they're like in H8 or whatever, somewhere out in the center. And they said it looks like they're going to Hamburger Hill, and I was like, that's fine. They can only overwatch Kappa. Go take their back cap. I know they dwaddled in the center a little bit to try to find the rest of your mechs. They eventually did, and that's when we knew for sure that it was you guys were coming in for a brawl. So that's when we hauled ass up that hill. So we did hesitate after Gamma for a little bit. We slowed down because we were not sure what we were going to do. I think we were going to try to trade you as you guys came down that pass, but I think it was Weapon. Weapon Master made an audible, said no, let's just stick to the plan and go up to the hill. I didn't think we had time, but we apparently had time, thanks to the speed of the king crabs.
Sometimes that's all it comes down to. They're a little faster than we thought.
Now I will say this: the flea at the end, I don't know how he survived so long. That was funny. I'm yelling and causing my commander and like. It's like he's fighting you. He's not running. You take your time and aim your shot. And I just kept watching them whiff shot after shot.
Kwai is just
I love my team.
He's so good in that flea.
Yeah, he is. They tried to go legs and instead they hit all CT. Kind of funny.
Obviously, you should have just gave him a cicada. Maybe one there. Obviously.
Any other questions, guys?
Doesn't look like it unless someone else has an idea.
No,
I absolutely love the stream title.
Well, I'm just gonna say, Texan, Helios, Andy, Seb, thank you guys for casting the match. We really appreciate it. As far as I know, this is the only cast match that's been set up for this week. So, like, if anyone out there who has done casting for MWO leagues in the past, now's the time to step up and shine, guys. We do not have nearly enough casters to handle all the games we have this season. Other than that, I just want to say thanks to the tournament organizers. This has been a pretty fun season. It's definitely interesting because all the clan shenanigans is out the window. I can't ATM, which sucks.
Should just brought worms.
Oh my god! I
remember.
remember running into your Worlds team on Rubelite, and you guys would bring ATM Huntsmans against us. That was not fun to play against.
I needed the tonnage, so I couldn't take the Beagle.
Oh wait, actually, like, why didn't y'all attempt Lerms God level?
Hey,
Should have brought like at least one.
There's still 3 weeks in the season. I'm contemplating at least doing it once, like what Starwolf did to me last week. Fucking troll.
Alright, so you heard that chat, right? Bring AMS boats.
level.
Yeah.
We originally decked out an AMS deck on the expectation they would.
Alright, if you have no more questions, I gotta take off. I hear my son crying in the background. I'm gonna go check on him. You guys, thanks for everything. Fess, good luck the rest of the season, man.
See you, Level. Always a pleasure.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Alright, thanks Texan. Thanks for Andy Beck for doing the cast. And if anybody in Twitch chat wants to be cast, I'm looking for 2 matches for tomorrow. Peace.
Yep.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Bye, fans.
That man's a caster.
So we're ending soon.
That was actually a fascinating Q&A. A lot of very good insight into what their plans were. and specific counter strats they set up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
This stream title though, it's actually the best
Yeah,
thing. I
it's
just
pretty
realized
great.
why they're named comrades.
you gotta,
Oh my
you gotta
god.
screenshot that's a screenshot for sure.
GT versus. Why?
But yeah, good matches. Some
Oh
nice,
yeah, I
team
forgot. Someone needs. Actually, let me check the chat. Crass and Soma, please rate if the stream's still up at all. Andy, is it turned on?
Yes, it's still turned on.
No, I mean like
I'm
is the
still
rest
turned on, yes.
Oh,
Andy's always turned on.
Okay, I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye guys, was fun.
Farewell.
Bye, have a good one.